you. It's our pleasure now to interview Jessica Farrakane from Hawaii Volcanoes National Park.
Yeah, Jessica, can you give us your impressions as we're seeing Kilauea erupt exactly 3 months since it paused?
Yeah, so it is spectacular right now, daylight or evening. I was just at Kilauea Overlook. There are several dozen people there, mostly right now local residents and park staff. That's going to change quickly now that the news is out. So people coming to the park really need to remember it will be crowded. You will be waiting in line most likely at the park entrance and for parking areas. But the park's open 24 hours. So if you can come, late in the night or before the crowds get here, maybe sometime today, that would be really good. A couple other things that are going on right now. There is a lot of gas coming out, and I've heard some air quality reports that say it's still good, but you can see and breathe and feel that there is elevated SO2 out there. So just be really mindful of the air quality when you come up to the park, and also stay on trails and stay out of closed areas. So there is part of Crater Rim Trail that goes right underneath that big gas plume that has been closed since '08 for a good reason. So please stay out of those closed areas. But right now, the eruption looks pretty spectacular. We're expecting it to be really busy here at Hawaii Volcanoes National Park.
Yeah, and because of that increased traffic, Jessica, I know you had a lot of changes, a lot of plans for the park. Something like this, does that delay anything that you had?
Tonight, for instance, we have a public meeting about our air tour management draft plan. That is still happening at 6 o'clock on Zoom. People can go to the website or social media and find those details out. I don't think it has impacted any of our big plans like disaster recovery. We are removing the Jagger Museum and the former USGS HVO buildings that were at Ue Kahuna. Those plans have not been impacted, at least not at this time. This eruption seems to be like many others, confined within Halemaumau crater and within the national park. So that's all looking good for our current plans.
And Jessica, any last minute advice for exactly where to go to get the best view and maybe what to bring, because it could be a long, hot day for some?
Good questions. Right now, with the massive amount of lava that's being extruded, anywhere is really a good spot along the crater rim. So places like Ue Kahuna, which is that former Jagger Museum area, Kilauea Overlook, Keanakakoi side, Kupina'ipali, any of those areas along the crater. And, to me, the best places is where everyone else is not. So if you have a secret spot out there that you know of and I didn't mention, maybe there's a reason. And then, the other thing is just keep up with what's happening on the park website and our social media. We're getting those updates up there right now for you, and that will be a good place to kind of check in and see what to wear, what to bring. This is 4,000 feet elevation. It's cold out. I had a sweatshirt and a hat on earlier, so keep that in mind too.
Hey, Jessica, real quick, Casey Lund is trying to convince the boss to send him out there. Should he make his way up? Did you have a special
we
spot
definitely,
reserved?
This eruption is lacking Casey. I think that he needs to come out here right away, because there is nothing like seeing Casey on the edge of the caldera when there's an eruption. Actually, it is quite a different, it looks like the same as we had in January through March, but the number of fountains that are coming up out of the lava lake, it really makes it different. And the noise, the sounds of Pele this morning were just like chicken skin. You could hear the roaring and the gases, and it's pretty spectacular. I think you guys should be here to cover it.
From her mouth to our boss's ears. Good question, Steve.
Thank you, Jessica.
I'm glad you asked,
you just sealed the deal. Casey Lund.
I think he's going to have to go.
Yeah.
Jessica, thanks for being here and always being willing to talk to us about the very latest that's going on over there.
Yeah.
All right. You guys have a good day. Mahalo.
Thanks, Jessica. All right, so 7:38, and here is Casey Lund.
Yeah, you've covered so many of these, Casey. What can you tell us about this one?
Well, that's like Jessica said, it does kind of seem and feel similar to the one that happened in January, but just looking at what you can tell from the crater rim, just from the view that we have, is how fast that lava lake filled up and the different fountains that are on the floor there. That was quite different than the January eruption where it was kind of spouting out at one area. So I wanted to show you some new photos and new video actually. This is really cool. And thank you, Jessica, by the way. She's so great. These are from our friends at USGS Hawaii Volcano Observatory. And this, if I had to guess, is a little bit further down where folks are not supposed to go. So we are grateful for the scientists that got down that close to the lava. I bet they're feeling the heat that close. And this is another one. And that's just, I imagine, pretty early on. You can see maybe just a little bit of the sun starting to come up behind it. And then this one, too, really shows you how much lava. And I don't want to quote myself here because I'm going to get it wrong, but the amount of lava that filled up to just cover that surface area that had to come out there, even if it was just a foot deep, is like truly stunning. And you can see it's pumping right now. The amount of power and the amount of energy that's coming out is really incredible. You know, Jessica said people are flocking to the park, and they will be, but like she mentioned this early on, it's probably mostly local folks. And I hope we may have some video because we've got our photographer Daryl Lee over there right now. And yeah, this is a family that we just talked to, actually. They're there right now, guarantee they're still there checking it out. This is almost live pictures. This just got fed back to us. So you can see a lot of the folks who are probably hanging out in Volcano National Park already or staying at Kilauea Lodge. I believe that's where they were staying because our photographer told us that that family visiting from Austin actually felt some of the seismic activity when they were sleeping. Let's take a listen to what they just said to our camera moments ago.
We got shook and awake, jumped up out of bed, didn't see anything. Happened again at 4:48, jumped up, didn't see anything, and then we heard some guy running down the hallway that it's erupting. And so we threw on his clothes as quick as we could and went out, and there she was. Pele was
happy again.
Yes.
It's so cool because, you know, families like that are a really good indicator of just why this is such a special event, because there are folks that maybe came to Hawaii Volcanoes National Park because they heard of an eruption going on earlier this year. They're hoping to see it. So many people come to Hawaii just to see that. And then they're not disappointed when they go to the park and that there's not an eruption. But could you imagine visiting from the mainland, visiting from some international location where you'll never have a chance to see this, and you're thinking, oh, maybe, I mean, who knows? Wouldn't it be crazy if the thing went off while we're there and then that happens?
Jackpot.
I mean, especially like I said the last time I checked in with you guys, for the young kids that see that, it would probably inspire them to become geologists. It's so cool to see those visitors being able to witness something that they may never see again. And that's what folks like Jessica Faircane and the National Park Service cherish, is being able to share that with the public. So a reminder, if you're going there, be patient, pack your patience, and be respectful, of course. That is a really special and sacred place for Native Hawaiians and really for our entire state.
Yeah. All right, good stuff. So, you sound a little excited?
I'm ready to go.
All right, let's see.
I'm ready to go. I have a bag always packed. I'm talking to my buddies over there. Prices are only going up.
Okay. All right, we'll check back. We'll check in with you. Thank you, Casey.
At 7:41 right now, huge donation to the University of Hawaii.